What's good, everyone? WCS back at it once again. I'm coming with another banger. This is more so like an educational live to those of you that may be out there. It's always good for educational purposes. Sometimes instead of just the same hoopla back and forth. So I just want to kind of touch bases on something. I want to explain to those of you that may be outside the loop on what Article 93 and Article 120 is exactly. The reason why I want to explain it because it deals with more serious issues that's going on with individuals who are punished for punitive reasons in the United States military. I want you to be informed and not taken advantage of and fooled and lied to. I just want to, just talk about something as simple as doing your research. Now, coming from a retired USMC retiree, there's always knowledge to be given even to those from other services. Those individuals choose to believe that they want to tell half of the story about their situation. Okay. I know there's people up here continue to tell me certain things here and there, which I'm like, I don't need to know it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know it. It's all good. And then there's certain individuals feel like, they want to play a victimized role, or whatever the case may be. Let this be a lesson to those of you that sit up here and support individuals that have went above and beyond the call of duty, to be assholes. You know what I'm saying? Not just out here in the YouTube community, but when they was actively wearing a uniform. Now, I heard certain language be used, like attorneys and everything. And I'm that's all good with me. You want to talk about attorneys? That's cool with me, because this is what this isn't going to be based off public record. Is something that is turned into a legal Ferris wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. They're not going to waste no time on this, and neither am I doing anything wrong. But I want to help educate those of you that may not know how serious nature it is when it comes down to a general court-martial. I want you all to be savvy. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be savvy about this information. I want you to be aware of how severe the deleterious effect of a general court-martial in the U.S. military. It is serious, man. And the reason why I say it's serious is because it takes a lot to get to a general court-martial. You have summary and special. It takes a lot to get to a general court-martial. A hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. So let's get down to it. I'm going to share screen right now, and I want you all to be educated on this type of stuff. So when you have individuals around here lying because that's what they used to doing, and they want to try to pretend like their punishment all of a sudden just came out of the blue and it was for no reason, they was innocent, don't believe that. Because in order for your case to go to general, it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot that goes into a general. They just don't sit up here and give you right off the bat, boom, general court-martial. It's a lot of collateral ingredients and evidence that goes into charging a U.S. service member with a general court-martial. A lot, man. So let's start with. Hold on for a second. Okay, let's start with this right here. This is basically speaking on a general court martial. And the reason why I want to speak of the seriousness about it, because there was some people asking me about, it was some individuals even acting like it wasn't that serious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling myself, you have no idea what this is. This is the same as having a grand jury in a civil trial. It's absolutely at the highest barometer when it comes to the judicial department. So as you see in purple, it says a general court martial is the military highest level trial court. Okay. The court tries service members for the most serious crimes. Once again, this court tries service members for the most serious crimes. I don't need to look up serious. You're already smart enough to know that. It goes on to say the punishment right here, the punishment authority of the general court martial is limited by the maximum authorized punishment for each offense in the manual for court martial. Before any charge is sent to a general court martial, an Article 32 investigation must be conducted. That means they have to complete an Article 32 investigation, a micro investigation to the macro situation of judicial punishment selection. They have to do a micro investigation of Article 32 in determining the evidence for which the defendant will be charged with. They don't just say, okay, we recommend this right off the bat. It's immediate. No, this takes time. This takes countless of hours. This takes asking and speaking to several service members. This is constant investigative work, even to the person that's the victim. You know what I'm saying? They have to do an internal investigation. Let's keep it moving. The Article 32 investigation is closely akin to the civil grand jury investigation. At the close of the hearing, the Article 32 officer makes a recommendation concerning the disposition of the charges. The recommendation is not binding. Remember that. The recommendation, which they just told you by the Article 32 officer, is not binding on the convening authority. Okay? It's very important that you take note of that. Just because the Article 32 officer recommends something in the disposition concerning the charges, the recommendation is not binding on the convening authority. It goes on to say the general court martial may take either of the two forms. It may consist of a military judge. Once again, it may consist of a military judge and not less than 5 members, or solely of a military judge. The accused may elect trial by judge alone in all cases except those referred as capital classes. In trial court members, a minimum of 5 members must be present. In a trial with court members, a minimum of 5 members must be present. An enlisted accused is entitled to at least 1/3 enlisted membership upon request. Okay? That means 1/3 of enlisted membership can be there to listen to this case. You know how you have juries and stuff like that sit in there? Of course, they go through that process for that and make sure it's not a conflict of interest. Let's keep it moving. The trial of a court-martial is not unlike a civilian criminal trial. The difference lies in the procedural requirements. The military follows rules of evidence patterned after the federal rules of evidence. The members or judge hear evidence and renders a decision concerning the accused's guilt. Once again, the military follow rules of evidence patterned after the federal rules of evidence. The members of the judge hear evidence and renders a decision concerning the accused's guilt. In order to convict the accused, pay attention, the members must be persuaded beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused is guilty. If the accused is convicted, a sentencing hearing is held. Stay attuned. An accused convicted by court-martial is entitled to review of his trial before approving a court-martial conviction and sentence. The convening authority must be satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that the findings are supported by evidence. Evidence is crucial. It is very crucial. Underscore. Evidence. This is not play. This is not play, y'all. This is not something that I didn't like your tone of voice and we're going to send you to a general court-martial. No. You have two underlining, less intensive court-martials that can be rendered. A summary and a special before you get to general. General is the peak. It is the highest. It goes on to say the type of review depends on the level of trial and nature of the approved sentence. Some appeals may proceed all the way to the United States Supreme Court. Some appeals may proceed all the way to the United States Supreme Court. The initial step in the appellate process is a review by the convening authority. The convening authority may approve all or any part of legal sentence. He may mitigate a sentence or change the punishment to one of a different nature so long as the severity of the punishment is not increased, y'all. This is another area that they are willing to relieve. This is another area. This is not a witch hunt. This is not something that people just coming in here believing that people just point the finger and this is what is going to happen. It is a very complex system in how they go about these court-martials, especially the general court-martial. It says the initial step in the appellate process is a review by the convening authority. The convening authority may approve all or any part of the legal sentence. He may mitigate a sentence or change the punishment to one of a different nature so long as the severity of the punishment is not increased. We're almost done with this part. All right. If the convening authority approves a punitive discharge, either a bad conduct discharge, dishonorable discharge, or dismissal, or confinement in excess of 1 year, the record of trial must be reviewed by the Department Courts of Criminal Appeals. Once again, y'all, the record of trials must be reviewed by the Department Court of Criminal Appeals. This court, composed of military judges, will weigh the evidence and decide whether the findings and sentence are legally correct, man. Once again, this court, composed of military judges, will weigh the evidence and decide whether the findings and sentence are legally correct, and if so, whether the sentence is appropriate. Whether the sentence is appropriate. The court may set aside the findings and sentence or may reduce the sentence. Once again, there's measures in here that can benefit the veteran, the accused. You know what I'm saying? There's areas in here. There are areas in here to benefit the accused. So you hear people talking about, They took paperwork up to the Supreme Court. They did this, they did that. They went through all the measures. They're innocent. You're not innocent. You was convicted of the highest court martial that can be rendered, and the punishment. Your punishment may not have been severe, but you absolutely was found accountable. You was found accountable, bro. You was found accountable. The court may set aside the findings and sentence or may reduce the sentence, but it cannot increase the severity of the punishment. The next court in the appellate process, the Court of Appeals for the Armed Forces, is composed of 5 civilian judges appointed by the president for 15 years. The courts review question of law only. Both the accused and the government may petition the Supreme Court. Once again, both the accused and the government may petition the Supreme Court for a writ of certiorari from the Court of Appeals for the Armed Forces. The review by the Supreme Court is, look, pay attention to this. The review by the Supreme Court is entirely discretionary and extremely rare. I'm gonna let that marinate in your spirit a little bit, because I tried to explain this on the live previously, and people just not listening. They busy thinking of this YouTube shit. But I'm trying to explain and educate not only you all that's tuned in, but to help you understand that you're smarter than what people believe you are. If you don't know anything about the military justice system, then, and you don't want to because of the nature of this situation, you may have clouded judgment. Cool, but I can explain it to you. I can explain it to you. I can definitely explain it to you. Just like you sit there and listen to people lie to you to your face, and you accept it. I can explain to you the truth. Look at this. Now we're about to go into the details of what an Article 93 consists of and the weight that it carries. Article 93 is vicious. Article 93 is compiled of serious charges, bro. You know what I'm saying? Article 93 is a heavy load. We're not talking about wheelbarrow heavy. We're not talking about cinder block heavy. We're talking about Boeing 747 heavy, full tank of fuel heavy. We're talking about meteorite coming down to earth heavy. It is heavy. So let's get to it. Let's get up out of here. What's going on, Max? Salute to you for coming in, man. So let's share screen again and get into the meat and potatoes, as we used to call it. Okay. Articles of the UCMJ. So let's go into detail about Article 93, cruelty and maltreatment. If you're looking at this word cruelty, it's no good in that. It's no good in cruelty. When you hear maltreatment, anything would start with the prefix MAL is very, very serious and dangerous. Okay? So, let's start with the definition. Article 93, cruelty and maltreatment. This may change a lot of people, because if you have any sense of open-minded typological thinking, and you're willing to listen to things from both sides, cool. This is what I want you. This is what I want you to do. I just want you to, psychologically participate. You know what I'm saying? Cognitively, just be receptive to this. Regardless of what you believe is going on, be receptive to the information I'm giving you. Article 93, cruelty and maltreatment. This punitive article deals with persons who are found guilty of ill-treating, oppressing, or being cruel to a subordinate or any person who is required to follow the former's orders. Punishment for this offense is determined through the process of court-martial. Once again, I repeat, the punitive article, which is dealing with Article 93, cruelty and maltreatment, the punitive article deals with persons who are found guilty or ill-treating, oppressing, or being cruel to a subordinate. A subordinate is beneath a senior. You know what I'm saying? Someone that received orders, or any person who is required to follow the former's orders. Punishment for this offense is determined through the process of court-martial. Now, the elements to be proved in Article 93 cases, right here, are that the victim of the cruelty or maltreatment was a subordinate of the accused, i.e., subject to the accused's individual orders. Remember that. Second, that the accused individual exhibited cruelty, maltreated, or oppressed the victim in a specific manner. Once again, I repeat, that the accused individual exhibited cruelty. A lot of that goes on social media, exhibiting cruelty. It also is a bulletization here on Article 93, that the accused individual exhibited cruelty, maltreated or oppressed the victim in a specific manner. Now, let's go to what is the maximum punishment granted under Article 93. All right. Under Article 93, the accused faces dishonorable discharge, confinement for 1 year, and forfeiture of all allowances and pay as maximum punishment. Once again, under Article 93, the accused faces, F-A-C-E-S, faces dishonorable discharge, confinement for 1 year, and forfeiture of all allowances and pay as maximum punishment. To learn more about punitive article, refer to the manual for court-martial. Now, let's get to the explanation of article. The explanation of article. Article 93 protects individuals from being maltreated or oppressed by their immediate superiors or those who are in position to give them orders. Under the punitive article, a serviceman shall be charged even if he found guilty of showing cruelty to or maltreating persons who, though not in direct chain of command, have to follow his orders. That means someone can be outside your unit and you can be harassing them or oppressing them or be accused of maltreating them, and they don't have to be in your unit. To find the accused guilty, the prosecution does not need to show evidence of physical cruelty. Once again, this is Article 93 now. To find the accused guilty, the prosecution does not need to show evidence of physical cruelty or maltreatment. However, it is necessary to prove that cruelty, maltreatment, or oppression occurred. It have to occur for them to be considered. To take any consideration, once again, the process has to have evidence, man. No way around it. Any treatment that is deemed under objective standards to be unfair, abusive, unwarranted, and unnecessary to fulfill a lawful purpose may attract charges under the article. Once again, I repeat, any treatment that is deemed under objective standards to be unfair, abusive, unwarranted, and unnecessary to fulfill a lawful purpose may attract charges under the article. There's a lot of individuals like here on this open platform that participate in abuse. You know what I'm saying? Verbal abuse. unwarranted and unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Just direct hatred for people. It happens on here. So if I'm trying to compare it to what they're talking about in the article, it happens on here. But in this particular case, you're only a subordinate if you deem yourself one. You have the option to be in charge of yourself. But not everyone is like that. You know, there's certain people that's a bit more comfortable with being the subordinate. We have a lot of that on this social media. But let's keep going. Points to note about Article 93. Article 93 also covers acts that cause mental suffering or that could reasonably have caused such suffering. It is not just physical abuse that is covered under this article. It's not. It can be mental abuse, psychological abuse, man. The maltreatment or oppression or cruelty may also be in the form of sexual harassment. Let's highlight that. Take a minute. Inhale. Sexual harassment. This may be in the form or the example of a male to female type of example. You know what I'm saying? Or it can be male to male, or it can be female to female. But in an example that we've been hearing about lately, this would consist of male to female. All right, when we talk about examples: sexual harassment, assault, or improper punishment. Assault can be touching without consent. You know what I'm saying? Once again, verbal suggestions. All of that falls within that realm. And then improper punishment is just because someone isn't consenting, they're punished for it. You know what I'm saying? They're not consenting, so they're being punished unfairly. In Article 93 cases, the victim's acquiescence or lack of it plays a key role in establishing whether or not maltreatment, abuse, cruelty took place. The accused cannot be found guilty of violating this article if he imposed necessary duties or assigned such duties to a subordinate, even if they involve hazardous or extremely arduous work. Article 93. The serviceman can be charged with sexual harassment if he offers to influence, make threats against the job, career, pay, or another in exchange for sexual favors. Gestures and comments with sexual nuances that are repeated also constitute sexual harassment under this article. Along with the circumstances of the alleged offense, the victim's willingness to participate may play an important role in determining the guilt of and punishment of the offender. So that means, hey, if the person participated, especially one or more times, it may benefit the accused for some reason that it may have been some type of consent to that. It may not have been serious enough. What went wrong? You know what I'm saying? Were you really trying to avoid, or you was trying to be a part of? They say example of this article incidents in United States versus Fuller. It was deemed that despite maintaining sexual relations with the subordinate, the accused was not guilty of maltreatment under Article 93, since there was no evidence of control or dominance in the consensual relationship. In contrast, the act of conducting intrusive body searches with female trainees was deemed to have caused mental harm or suffering, as per the testimony of the victim, and the accused in United States versus Springer was deemed guilty. So, Article 93, cruelty and maltreatment. Let's go to Article 120. Military defense attorney for Article 120, mail deposits of obscene matter. Article 120 is a category of sexual misconduct under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which narrowly applies to mailing obscene material. Article 120A makes no distinction as to whether the recipient of those obscene content consented to its transmission. Any active duty or reserve service members can face charges under Article 120A. Like other Article 120 offenses, the sexual nature of Article 120A makes it a serious offense, which will require a vigorous defense under previous version of the UCMJ. Article 120A was the statute which prohibits stalking. It prohibits stalking. Stalking is now prohibited under Article 130. Article 120 prohibits service members from sending by mail any material containing sexual explicit content and will violate a common or community sense of decency. The prosecution of this offense depends on the military prosecutor being able to prove that most people would see the material as obscene. An experienced attorney can challenge the prosecution claim regarding social standards of decency and obscenity. To convict a service member of 120A offense, the military prosecutor must prove that the defendant deposited the mail material with knowledge of the obscene contents which is contained. And total prosecution must prove that the material was obscene, deposited knowingly and without legal authorization. These three factors complicate the military prosecutor's ability to prove their case, and the experienced military defense attorney can poke holes in this story. Penalties for Article 128 charges. While Article 120 is a less serious, hold on for a second. The less serious charge than the other offenses under Article 120, its obscene gestures in nature still makes a serious charge, which can have life-altering repercussions. Service members convicted under Article 120 can face a maximum punishment of a dishonorable discharge and 3 years imprisonment. Service members who receive dishonorable discharge will lose all military benefits, will forfeit their right to own a firearm, and will likely struggle to find employment. A strong defense from an experienced lawyer can help to lessen the punishment which convicted service members may receive. So a huge area of understanding is that it's pretty serious if you even in attendance for a general court martial. First of all, huge. You're being maxed out. That is the maximum. That is the highest tier of you being sent to a general court martial. Shout out to Tony Boswell on deck with a $5 super chat. Salute to you. He said, much respect for World Combat Sports in the chat. Thank you for the information breakdown of what happens in military. Also, thanks for your service. Appreciate you, Tony. Appreciate you, big dog, for the $5 super chat in the building. Much appreciated, brother. So, with what I just went over for the UCMJ, I'm just trying to help people wake up a little bit and understand that summary special, right? They're beneath general court martial for less viable offenses. You can go to a summary special court martial and you know, for lesser offenses or whatever, if they deemed it necessary. They just don't send you all the way up the ladder. They don't run you up the ladder like that. They don't just say, okay, you're not going to get non-judicial punishment. We're taking you straight to court martial. For those of you that don't understand, court martial is a serious type of action levied against you. Court martial requires a lot of moving components legally. It's a lot of work that goes in to investigation for a court martial, man, especially a general court martial. Don't be fooled by the rhetoric of individuals trying to explain to you that I'm simply innocent. You don't go to general court martial if you are simply innocent, man. You have to be accused, and an Article 32 investigation is conducted prior to. So you have to wait months and months and months. And I don't know how many people are questioning all the paperwork that goes into, constituting a general court martial to see if you are indeed where you're supposed to be. The step you're about to take, they're about to take you on this punitive step. Are you supposed to be here for the charges levied against you or not? You are the accused. You have rights too. So for someone to go to a general court martial, it is absolutely deemed maximum. They deemed all the evidence that was compiled. They deemed it necessary to take this person to a general court martial, y'all. A general court martial. There's no way around that. It's no way that you're going to hopscotch around a general court martial. It is the highest. I don't need to put nothing on Patreon to give you this free info. Anyone who is trying to explain to you as if this is light cannot forget one thing. As you are influencing people to join your Patreon to see your paperwork, who knows what that paperwork is? Any honest person, I'm going to say service member, any honest person will put it out for the world to see. If it's any different than the paperwork that has been discussed out here in social media, put it out here for the world to see. Don't try to engage, influence, and persuade, and lie, and manipulate someone to go to a Patreon. For what? Just like the charges which was brought against you. It's clear and concise. If you're trying to prove to those idiots who are over there believing the words that comes out of your mouth without doing extra research, all you have to do is know that the paperwork that's online that I'm talking about, I'm not worried about any legal ramifications at all. I have an attorney too. But what we can discuss is what is facts. The public record can be discussed by anyone. The public record can be discussed without authorization, without alternative language, without inserting falsicities, without creating. You can read that out. You can screenshot it. You can do whatever. It's public freaking record. Public record. Public record. Public record. Summary court martial, special court martial is beneath a general court martial. General court martial is the grand. It is the highest. It is the max. In order for anyone to be in a situation where they have been subjected to attend a general court martial, have been investigated thoroughly, and the evidence that is wagered against them have been found enough to take them to a general court martial for the depth of the seriousness of their charges. The depth, it has to be deep. I'm talking about countless and countless pages and documents through the investigation, over and beyond, for them to say, man, we have overwhelming evidence that you are attending a general court martial, people. You should be educated. You should not be in denial. And you definitely shouldn't believe you have to go to a Patreon to find out information that you can get for free. Look, the court's not gonna lie. If someone was just telling you that this person, their paperwork is still at the Supreme Court and they're innocent and he was the victim, well, guess what? Why are your paperwork at the Supreme Court? It should be cut and dry. They should look at your paperwork. It should be glowing much brighter than everyone else, and they should say, let's take a look at this case right here. I told you, out of 9,000 cases annually that is submitted for the Court of Appeals on the Supreme level, only about 75 are considered. As a person in that position, I can't relate to, but what I can tell you is that I'm pretty sure a lot of people that had time to wind down after punishment was rendered, they definitely wanted to put in an appeal. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a so-called empowered or some type of individual that consider yourself strong to be different than anybody else. No, you have to defend. You have to protect yourself. You have to rebound. You have to go through a recovery process. So if you're on social media, bragging about your package being at the Supreme Court, you place yourself in a situation for your package to be at the Supreme Court. And if you, in your words, quote unquote, you said the person that was handling your package, she died, and you reference her as a bitch, okay, then there's somebody else that's up there in her place that can look at your package. I'm pretty sure those words that have been collected for evidence, right, for whoever did it, I'm pretty sure they're going to look at that and say, oh, well, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. That's what it's about. There's not much to see here. But anybody will tell you your first appeals request is your most important. Your first appeals request is your most important. Okay? That is real life. Packages in the military on that administrative level do not just get kicked back for no damn reason. Like, oh, so-and-so passed away, so we just gonna like they only have one phone operator, right? Like you have one phone operator. Well, not even take your phone calls. The phone is busy. It's not when I was coming up when you was on the phone, the pay phone, that shit was busy. It's not just one person to handle a package. They're just gonna say so-and-so passed away. Unfortunately, she had these 20 packages and we're gonna send them all back. No, it's gonna be considered as what we call a referral. They're gonna refer it over to somebody else that's basically handling those same duties. They just don't have one person working up there at the Court of Appeals. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. D-Ray Promotions, what's good? Tony Boswell said, he said, WCF salute to you there, D-Ray. He said, no problem. Anytime. I always enjoy the content and conversation on your channel. No doubt, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for always supporting the channel there, Tony. So I'm just here to try to, the ice has already been broken. I'm just trying to help y'all understand that when you see the ice broken and the water is several degrees, I'm talking about ice cold. I don't want you to just think if you walk towards that area that's already been breached, that you're gonna just glide over it and keep on walking on that glacier. No, you're gonna fall in there, and it's not gonna be what you expected. It's gonna be much worse. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel some numbness and tingling sensation because I'm giving you the route to take. If you choose to do a bit more research, you choose to be much more smart and intelligent, to do your own homework. It doesn't take anyone with a high sense of degree or none of that to understand what Article 93 and Article 120 consist of. Not just one article to be charged with, but two. Not just one, but two. Multiple. You also need to factor in that you have the option as an adult to make decisions. You have the option to like or dislike anyone. Whatever merits that you're going off of, that you choose to like or dislike somebody, you should use that same thing for the person that you're choosing to like to understand why someone else have chosen to dislike. The dislike isn't always bias. The dislike can be from intelligent thinking and making conscious decisions. That person is not good for me. That person has treated someone unfairly. That person has treated someone with malice. Now, if the person that was disliked starts to return that fury back to that person, right? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, because that person that was actually the antagonist and the instigator is now being blessed with their type of energy. Don't play the victim. Don't start threatening people with attorneys. Nobody caring about none of that. Don't start trying to take all the legal ramifications when you was absolutely out here acting stupid. And just because you continue to say that someone's a hoe and this, that, and the other, it doesn't matter. What I can say to you is what I've said before. Continue to sit up here and pretend, because it takes a lot of energy to pretend and wear around a freaking tiara that says facade across the front of it. It takes a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? You like wearing shit on your head a lot. It takes a lot of energy to wear that tiara that says facade. The smart ones understand and can see through a facade. Don't consider yourself to be a victim. After all the evidence is out here on you, plain and simple, on social media, it's easy. For those of you that's out here, right? Don't let anybody try to bully you as far as thinking, oh, we're going to limit certain people from talking on YouTube when they have been the ones who's been talking for quite some time in a very disrespectful manner and behavior. But you find somebody with some common sense and some intellect and they know how to do their own research and speak for themselves, people get mad. That just goes to show you why they say good bows before evil. YTC is a perfect example on how cowards operate. They really circle the wagon. When you hear people talk about the sheep mentality, it is absolutely authentic. It is very, very authentic, y'all. They can have people on here for months and months and months claiming they're the best ever, claiming they this, claiming they that. But they just overlook the fact as to why someone's trying to build a facade, because this is their desperation for you to help them get through life and the choices that they made prior to. They don't want a person that can articulate themselves and speak on this matter, especially me, being that I served 20 honorable years, especially me, that cuts a little deep. That's why they try their best to defame what I was able to accomplish in the United States military. And I don't have to have an option to speak on it, but they attempt to make it an option. And when they attempt to make it an option, they try to add all these extra collateral, enclosures to it, as if it's derogatory information. So-and-so's this, so-and-so that. The same person that is deriving these derogatory comments and information and trying to make me wear the jacket don't understand that the person that they putting all this effort into to support is no number to what that does to you and how incompetent you are as an adult. Astounding. Because when someone starts to return the energy, then it becomes an issue. Now you want to try to clean up. Now you want to start mentioning attorneys. No, you should have did that when you've been on here talking reckless, making threats to people. That's what you should do. You should try to explain to them what your military career consists of. Don't worry about me being Don't worry about somebody being on camera or not. You have other things you need to consist of, that you need to participate in. Try getting your record resolved. See, you act like you're trying to clean up and y'all want to, threaten somebody with attorney shit, with legal repercussions, not knowing that you have too much out there already to justify why somebody's out here saying what they're saying. Anybody can speak on public record, whether you like it or not. Don't all of a sudden become quiet and you want to sit up here and say, oh, I want to damn submit a YouTube complaint. That ain't right. But you can sit up here and tell lies on people. And you think that's not legal? That's not legal repercussions to that? You just proved to everybody out here. You proved to everybody how weak you truly are. You come off and try to be so brash and none of you niggas and fucking this, that, and the other. Bro, that's a facade, bro. We don't have to fuck with you, bro. You fucked up. Why should I have to have you in my company? You continue to talk and run your mouth, and I'm continue to talk and run my mouth. You can sit up here, pretend, and try to make people think, oh, they're going to pay dearly. Make me pay then. Make me pay. Because I'm able to sit up here and read public record. I'm able to educate the audience. Just because they choose not to educate themselves, I can do it for them for free. See, it's something that goes into someone's thought process when they're calling somebody a nigger and they're black, when they're calling people faggots all the time, when they really have some deep internal insecurities about themselves, some demons that they're dealing with. See, you dealing with your demons and you want everybody else to deal with them equally. And they're so illiterate, they can't even freaking learn that, hey, this is putting more stress on me too. Because I'm busy up here thinking about WCS. I'm busy trying to plot, not knowing people watching them too. So I encourage y'all to continue to plot, scheme, and you're gonna be a whole nother situation too. So continue to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You want those individuals to equally plot with you. So let's see which one is gonna have the opportunity to be the example. Y'all sit up here and co-sign and cheer and serenade, wave the pom-poms, ooh wee, let me hit emojis, let me do this and that. It's black people, right? Right? They want to do all this shit, right? Until somebody else say, you know what? If you want me to go back to the way I used to be and give you my attention, I can. All this time I've been chilling, being respectful. But then you have people that's so used to being disrespectful, and then you have people that co-sign over and over again, and they believe since you ain't saying much that you weak, you're fragile. And they don't have enough courage to stand up for themselves. So now we want to get to the legal, we want to get to the legality of it. Before, you was all hard. You was just damn rogue individual. You can just sit up here and cuss out everybody. Oh, you this. You think you have a record on the YTC. You don't have shit out here. You don't have nothing. This isn't your real estate. You don't have any stock in YouTube. This is not a retirement plan. This doesn't provide you a medical. None of that, bro. That is all the variables that you have to deal with in life. Healthcare. I love to see a person yell, scream over and over again. Because it's going to come a time and a place that the daily reoccurrence of you screaming and yelling, it's gonna allow you to use your health care when you least expect it. So you continue to pop a blood vessel and continue to believe that you are setting a legendary standard on here. You're no different than everybody else, bro. It's just up to WCS to remind you, don't bully people. Don't attempt to bully people. You're not going to do anything when you see them, especially me. you're not going to do anything, bro. For you to sit up there handily and continue to run your mouth instead of paying attention to your channel and not mine, it just goes to show you that you're distracted. Pay attention to what you have going on. Don't worry about the information I get. Stop making up lies, thinking I'm going to put the necessary effort into what? Disguise myself? I'm going to take extra effort to disguise an acronym? Why? Why should I be afraid to go over there and disguise? Why would I do that? That's pointless. Do you not know how this shit works? You do. You listening to people's channels. You know everything about coming to my channel, and you try to pretend like people sending you the information. Yeah, them cheerleaders in their high skirts are definitely sending you information. They are. But look at it this way. You listen to it too, because that's what links are. They send you the link. They timestamp it if they really nice to you. You know what I'm saying? And then you listen to it. So it doesn't matter who you call hoe. In the reality and the scheme of everything, right? You're mad because you believed at one point in time you had control to jump on everybody's panel or to talk to anybody the way you feel like it. So now someone is basically speaking and talking back to you, and they're giving you the energy that you requested. This is after, like, I gave you several opportunities, but you thought I was going to be the one to sit up here and be that subordinate, dog. How? I mean, how did you ever think that? But look, I have a message for the individuals that continue to give you all that, oh man, that support, that lift me up support. You know what I'm saying? Those individuals that just sit up there and want to give you all the comfort. I wish you nothing but the best. Continue to put that energy in supporting someone with a jacket like that. Matter of fact, I hope you get close enough to the point where you can actually smell the stench of that jacket. Okay? So y'all continue to get close. Y'all continue to have these conversations. Y'all continue to plot and scheme. All right? Y'all continue to talk about attorneys and everything else. And we all good. It's funny how people talk about how they this and that and people can't fuck with them. But all of a sudden, when people get in the energy, they want to turn snitch 101. They want to submit freaking anonymous shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to start submitting paperwork. They want to now go cry to try to get your channel taken down. Wow. These are the same people that was up here yelling over you, calling you all sorts of names and shit. And they want to try to secretly get your channel taken down after they've been on here screaming and telling people to suck their dick all this time and calling them pussy, faggot, and all that. You are now trying to get someone's channel taken down. You are now doing research and trying to get people together to take down a channel. Wow. Y'all need to listen to me on this. This is actually taking place as we speak. But yet, these individuals attempt to call someone else a hoe. If that ain't hoe tendencies, I do not know what is, y'all. But to try and get somebody's channel taken down, to try to do legal research because someone is talking about your public record, is hypocrisy at its best. It's pusillanimous. Look it up. Google it. Is that individual being a malefactor? Talk, rah, cuss people out all the freaking time. And then all of a sudden, you get the energy that you always wanted, and now you want to make threats. Then you want to sit up here and say, no, they can't do that. Hey, man, let it go. No, y'all motherfuckers let it go. Because you're not right. You're not leaders. You're the subordinates. You're the ones that want to sit up here and think you want to give your life away. You want to be the one to get made an example out of. You want to be the one to sit up here and say, okay, I'll go advocate for you. I'll go over there to his channel. Look, you better heed orders now. Okay? Listen to the private. Listen to the private. Okay, subordinates? I ain't never seen a private give orders where I was at. Never. I wasn't able to do it when I was a private. I never heard a private give orders. But listen to the private that's in charge of you, subordinates. Attention. Listen to those orders. He told y'all, if you're over here in my chat, that's why I was donating. I was doing it for charity. I said, let me put it on subscribers mode today, so none of his people can come over here and he end up blocking you. I don't want him to lose subscribers. I want him to continue to build his viewership. I want all that to be very, very positive. Because this is a long-term contract that he has on YouTube. Long term. YouTube has no retirement. Did y'all know that? YouTube has no retirement, y'all. No retirement. No retirement. No retirement. No retirement. No retirement. Let me check this live chat out. Hey, Jay. That's what I'm saying, dog. What happened, Jay? Shout out my guy, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime. Wow, he went that attorney route. Hey, bro. If these individuals, man, don't see it for what it is, I don't know what it is. Like, isn't this what you was doing to everybody else? Why are these dudes continuing to bring up Terrence Crawford? He told me I don't have a relationship with Terrence Crawford. Why do they keep bringing up two boxers that I rock with? They keep bringing up Terrence Crawford. Now they trying to create all these lies. Next, hey, Showtime. Next, they gonna be calling you up. Hey, man, you know he said something about Jahar, right? I mean, these dudes, every time I turn around, all of a sudden, Arrow's name is not in the conversation. It's Terrence, dog. It's Terrence Crawford forever, dog. When did it all change? When did it all change, bro? For real. Big blunts and boxing on deck. The beat is a vibe. He ain't got no money for their legal fees. He need to focus on that record. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what he need to focus on, right? But that's what they do, bro. These dudes are cowards on here, man. They sit up here and talk and they initiate the shit, right? They initiate it. And niggas like me just sat back because they didn't deal with me. I say, man, I ain't worried about that. Let them dudes continue to do what they do. And all because I commented on something that's truth about a debate. Now all of a sudden I'm hating. No, this ain't the first now. I told you way back in the day when I tried to talk with sense to another vet, one vet to another, he said, fuck the military. Look it up. Look on Drew Titan's live. Look it up for yourself. I tried to be cordial. I haven't really had no conversation with him at all. And he came off absolutely disrespectful. That was years ago. Didn't say nothing. Didn't give him the energy. Now all of a sudden he gets what he asked for. He's been hoping and yearning for. He's getting it. And he's mad. Now he wants to put his paperwork on Patreon. Now he wants people to see his paperwork. He's innocent, y'all. He was just saying Sotomayor passed away and her, you know, she kicked back his paperwork. He was just saying that his paperwork is at the Supreme Court right now. He's innocent. He said he did nothing wrong. He was the victim. Look, I want to assume that something isn't linking up neurologically, psychologically. He's saying he's innocent. Now, who am I to say anything more? I mean, more than that. If he believes that, okay, cool. But when me and some other constituents of mine retrieve documents that are public record, don't pretend on YouTube like all of a sudden, we are prohibited from accessing a search engine inquiry to retrieve information. When you have multiple search engines that has the same documentation across the platform, and you're trying to tell us we don't have access to retrieve your information and speak on it? Yes. Like you said, you say somebody else talked about your career, right? No, it's not just one. It's several people who has talked about what you had going on. It's free game, right? It's free game, right? How you always try to put this stigma on men. It's always in a homosexual nature. It's always, attempting to emasculate them through derogatory comments and obscenities. Yeah, that's what you do. You always trying to talk about, telling dudes to suck your dick. I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why men would say that all the time and don't find it offensive. If you don't find it offensive, that means you find it acceptable. If every time people see you and you're criticizing women, then you have a problem with women, period, which basically coincides for what your punishment was dealt back then in 2014. You don't like women. So why all of a sudden you run into your attorneys? Oh, they're gonna pay dearly for that. Let's go. You want to issue down legal threats? You want to get your people together? You want them same people that support you when you've been browbeating people and talking reckless to them and all that? Threatening them, talking, you gonna slap them? Okay. Remember, what you say is out here too, bro. Submitting paperwork behind the scenes, trying to have videos taken down. What is that about? Somebody tell me in the chat, what is that shit about? What is that about? This dude keep talking about videos. My highest view videos is his name on it. Bro, that's a lie. This dude is a habitual liar, bro. This dude is the habitual liar. I just showed you videos that none of these cats can match. And he keeps on talking about my highest videos is with his name in it. I just put your name on the thumbnail because I'm addressing you. That's all. Big Buns Unboxing said we just need to make sure the catalog is downloaded and saved on a hard drive somewhere. This scumbag is using his narcissistic tendencies to achieve his goal. He won't get far though. Man, it is already downloaded, bro. Good thinking. Good thinking, man. It's downloaded though. Listen, that's not what I'm worried about. Cooking with Surf Senior, what's good, what? Salute, man. Salute everyone. He said, nigga, if I was wrongfully convicted and kicked out of the military, I would be on no fucking YouTube. I'd be fighting for my career back and getting that stain off my record. Talk that, man. Talk that, man. Talk that, man. Everybody don't want to hear wisdom, man. People don't want to hear it. And then they'll call me old, but he'll probably call you young and say, what the fuck you know about it? You know what I'm saying? People don't want to listen to wisdom from people even that may be younger than them. But it makes sense. It makes sense, bro. The Fair Use Act for comment, criticism, education, reporting purposes. The ass whooping he received verbally was very legal, if you ask me. A nigga just mad. Yes, sir. I would consider myself broken if I had to address my people in the people that support me in the chat, right? They have options to support me in the chat. So you're basically putting a demand. You're placing a demand, an ultimatum. These dudes are giving an ultimatum to those individuals who volunteered to be in your chat, right? Volunteer. You're going to tell them if they are seen at any time of the day over here on the boulevard of WCS, unsubscribe. You see how all these soft, cowardly individuals are using the same language? Man, if y'all over here unsubscribe to me. But you act like someone cares. They really don't care. They really don't care, bro. Real talk. Like, what are y'all saying to my unsubscribe? Man, they caught up in this world of YouTube. It's just unbelievable, bro. Like, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy how these grown ass men think. They all group together. Not all of them. You got some leaders on here now. You got some leaders on here. For real, you got some leaders on YouTube too that I respect. But the ones that's grouped together, man, that paints a bad picture for a lot of them. Those are the ones who are basically polluting the content for which people should be respecting more. When they see people cussing people off and this, that, and the other, hey, I guarantee you won't be on another debate anytime soon. Because the real ones know. I hear people like, hey man, you know I rock with you heavy. It'll be all right, man. Don't worry about that. He ain't shit. If you saying I'm not shit, so what do you stand for, man? Like, what do you stand for? If you telling me just because I'm standing up for myself, you saying I ain't shit, but you're calling yourself supporting someone who has proven that he's never been shit. It's quite a difference in that. He can talk all he wants and have people in the chat, but then when I start talking, people are dropping him links that now all of a sudden he want to run and get attorneys. Oh, they're gonna pay for that. That is what you call whole certified. That is whole certified, bro. There's no other way to put it. That is whole certified, bro. Whole certified. Whole certified. You talk all that shit, man. And now you getting what you asked for. And now you want to come over here. Hey, but first, before I start cooking, I want to address. I ain't gonna say his name. Okay, look, make up your mind. You was just telling people the other day what my name was, man. I didn't gain any more subscribers from it. I'm just giving you a heads up. I want to give you the report, the analytics. I didn't gain any more subscribers. So one day you're saying my name, the other day you ain't. You're listening to all these people. You confused right here. Delirious, man. Are you gonna say my name or you're not gonna say my name? If you're gonna talk about me in the third person, please do it. Very, very like specific, so people can still understand who you're talking about. Don't talk so much in a circle where they get lost. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about somebody in the third person and you just don't want to acknowledge who they are, well, don't go back to the same shit. Don't go back to the same shit, man. You're gonna get them confused. You keep talking about the same shit all the time. You want to bring up how I have put my paperwork on Patreon. Wow. Now I'm giving you the clout that you wanted, right? He's taking my clout and people are going to his channel to sequester information about this situation, right? And he's saying, I have put my paperwork on Patreon. So go become a member of Patreon so you can see my paperwork. Listen, for all I know, he might have a McDonald's receipt, on Patreon, and he might have some damn loose leaf paper where he has wrote, I am innocent. Okay? I am innocent. You know why? Because I say so. That's probably what's in there, written in marker. You know what I'm saying? He written in marker and shit. Not even number 2 pencil, bro. I am innocent. I did nothing wrong. I am the victim. But sir, we've seen public record. I don't care what you see. that ain't me. But you verified it was you a couple hours ago. I just said that ain't me. Don't tell me it's me and it ain't me. Bro, make up your mind. That shit is like getting confusing. I stop when you stop addressing it. It seems like nobody, want to sit up here and mitigate the process and tell you, hey man, just let it go. You want to come back on there and continue to call and dress somebody with lies. Don't listen to the lies, y'all. Don't sit up here and listen to the lies. This dude submitted paperwork to YouTube to have one of my videos taken down. I did a live about it earlier today. You know what I'm saying? He submitted the paperwork to have one of my videos taken down. You know what I'm saying? What is that about? Now all of a sudden you feel like, before you was talking about how many people was watching you for 7 hours, right? But if those people are loyal to you, then don't worry about my video, because you're acting like my video is gonna basically subtract from those loyal dummies that's over there subscribed to you to begin with. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, I'm not staying on here too long, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute WCS in the chat. I'm here listening, bro. Man, you came in on the back end, but as always, thanks for the super chat, Mr. Gumbo on deck. $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And for those of you that keep running, dropping links, I get it, man. I get it. You want something to be more. You want, you want to bet against people. That's how it is. You just want to bet. You want to continue to bet. You want to see the bad in someone. You want to see contentiousness, animosity, maliciousness. Y'all promote that shit. But when someone starts to return fire, you feel like now you want to go in protection mode. You want to go into, put them in protective custody mode. When they have countless of videos of you doing the exact same thing. But all of a sudden, legality is the topic. You want to get attorneys involved. You want to see, hey, I just want to let everybody know I have people that's in my chat that's attorneys. Oh my God. Now, all of a sudden, you have attorneys that's in the chat for what? To watch you be an absolute and complete idiot? You have attorneys writing down, taking notes. He called him an idiot on the other channel, but I'm in his chat. I wasn't in his chat. Damn, I really can't use this information because he had subscribers mode turned on. Man, come on, bro. But man, y'all know what it is. I'm not gonna hold you too long on this, man. I just want to, kind of give y'all some internal public record about Article 93, Article 120, how detrimental it is for someone to be proposed to undergo a general court martial other than summary or special. General court martial is the highest of the high. That's from people who did serious, punitive criminal acts, right? And then also on top of that, I mentioned how there's an Article 32 investigation internal to that person being recommended for a general court martial. So don't believe everything when you hear that a person saying they're innocent, but yet and still it's paperwork that's on them. They're registered. It's certain things they're not allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? No matter how they bark and all this other shit, the only thing he can do is try to have somebody come to him. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. The gig is up though. Come over here. And so-and-so still talking about you. Come over here. All those words he's saying, people heard them before. Hoe ass. Get another word, bro. Everybody done heard everything you need to say. Do your research. Work on some more jargon. Some very, that ostentatious type jargon, those $8 word jargon. Work on how to articulate yourself and speak clearly. Clean up your behavior and start acting like you got some common damn sense. If not, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Be sure to check out that link that Big Blunts Unboxing just put in there, man. You know, it's always a pleasure. Mr. Gumbo on deck again, man. If you out there on the road, man, be safe out there. Keep your head on the swivel, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I know you said you was gonna, be, camping out at home a little bit more and all that. So either way, man, salute to you. Continue to grind, bro. For sure, man. For sure. Y'all definitely go check out Big Blunts and Boxing, man. The vid that he just did. Very well put together. Very nice masterpiece, man. He's definitely skilled at what he does when it comes to this videography and this editing content. Real talk. And it's very conducive to the topic at hand. Very conducive to the topic at hand. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So go check out that link, man, and hit the like button when you're over there too. Check out my guy Shaw News. You know what I'm saying? Team Jahad Tucker, check them out. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everyone. Tony, Mr. Gumbo, Cooking with Sir Senior J Ocho. You know what I'm saying? Alexander was on decks. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everyone for pulling up, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.